Tampon Tim?
Tampon Tim. Yes, I would like to talk about it.
Good.
You know what? If you knew anything about the pink tax or how difficult it is for women when they have their period and they don't have access to tampons.
It's not about women. They can get as many tampons as they want.
That's not
Give them free tampons.
Jesse,
it's the boys.
I want to hear this.
The point of having menstrual products available in a boy's bathroom is for 4th to 12th graders, I think, that if there is someone who identifies, if there is a biological female who identifies as a male and uses that, your laughing will be the undoing of your side.
That's Jessica Tarlov on Fox News showing her co-hosts that despite what liberals say, it's Democrats that have a monopoly on naggy Karen behavior. Welcome to Nerk News, I'm Nerkish, and you know the right has struck a nerve with liberals when establishment media shills go on TV and begin clutching their pearls and complaining about lack of civility. This time it's because conservatives are correctly pointing out that the guy liberals are portraying as moderate is a huge proponent of gender therapy for children and putting tampons in boys' bathrooms.
You're encouraging empathy, which we all admire, go into an irrational world.
You don't admire it. I need to say something about the National Guard.
No one is using the boys' bathroom that's menstruating, Jessica.
I would like to pull back and talk about something that would help the Democrat Party if they only listened. I'm going to pretend that I'm not talking to Jessica, but I'm talking to the whole Democratic Party. So liberals, in their very best sense, are the party of empathy and compassion. Their problem is they extend that benefit to people who prey upon innocent citizens. That is their problem. They don't know the boundaries to their compassion or their empathy, and that's why they need conservatives to say, hey, knock it off, pull back. But why do liberals have to accept certain positions that are that bad? Like, why do they have to make excuses for rioters and looters? That is not necessarily a liberal position. They don't have to do it. So if you think of other liberal positions, arguing for surgical transitions for children, banning school choice, funding foreign wars, bailing out felons. What if these aren't liberal positions? They're just awful ones. Then you could reject them. You don't have to sit here and defend tampons for boys. You could just say, you know what, there's nothing liberal about that, right?
You know, this reeks of desperation, and it's not just coming from rage bait hacks like Jessica Tarlov either. Pretend journalists on establishment media are pushing the same narrative of conservatives being heartless for ridiculing this. Because deep down they know it undermines their narrative of Harris and Walz being moderates. This whole thing is essentially them attempting to shift the Overton window to the left once again by misrepresenting and mainstreaming all of their radical nonsense. Tarlov suggested that us laughing at this will be the downfall of the right, but I think it's the opposite.
Only nut jobs want kids to have nut jobs. It's not about being liberal or conservative. But the problem is the Democrats have allowed radicals to define what is liberal. So tampons for boys. Suddenly, Jessica, you have to defend it. You shouldn't have to. You know, liberals were always against conversion therapy. That was a psychological attempt at curing homosexuality. Now they're defending invasive surgical solutions to do the same thing. How did that become liberal and the other one not? So it's a plea that, like, you don't have to defend this crap. You don't have to defend tampons for boys. You should laugh at it and go, this is bullshit. I don't believe any of it. And then all of a sudden you find that the Democrats and the Republicans are in the same room again. We reject our crazies. It's time for you guys to reject them.
Okay.
Give me a crazy person. I'll reject him.
Donald Trump.
See, that's your problem. He's not crazy. That's your problem.
That is exactly the problem.
There's nothing that he believes in that comes close to tampons for boys or for pushing trans surgeries on children because they're suffering from a psychological delusion. There's nothing like that in the conservative movement. But you Democrats have embraced these things because they're so scared of being called lack of compassionate.
Once again, Gutfeld is absolutely right. And this is where conservatives really need to contrast themselves from liberals by standing their ground, exposing this stuff, and forcing the opposition to commit to it. The slippery slope exists because the right concedes too much ground on this stuff and accepts it as legitimate. If we want to turn things around, not only should we refuse to accept their notion of gender-confused kids using these restrooms, we should push back on soft nonsense like the notion of pink tax, which is just garbage feminists made up because they don't like that women choose to pay more for things like haircuts, clothes, and hygiene products. A box of tampons costs $3 at Walmart. The only person Tim Walz is helping by putting those in the boys' bathroom is himself, Because virtue signaling about this kind of empty-headed nonsense seems to carry weight in a party completely detached from reality. But let me know what you think. How should the right engage with the more radical positions held by the left? Let me know in the comments, and if you enjoyed this video, please give it a like and subscribe to the channel. That stuff really does help us out. Until then, this has been Nerk News. Thanks for watching. Bye!